Hello and welcome to Careers Express webcast. I'm Elisabeth, an associate of the Cyprus Mail. Today, we're going to focus on newly graduates and the skills they need to penetrate the job market. Joining me today to talk about this is Maria Siobacha, Director of Career Success Center at University of Nicosia. Welcome on board, Maria.
Hi, Elisabeth. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for joining me. So it is the time of the year where when university students complete their degree and, they get into the search of their first job in the market. What are the skills that you develop to help them with their job search?
Sure. So basically, and mostly with our students, what we do and what we work with them to develop from our side are their career skills. So by career skills, I mean anything that has to do with CV and resume compilation and how you can make this document stand out from the crowd, how to successfully perform a job interview, because many of our students actually and young graduates, they don't have experience with interviews, so they find this process quite compelling. And lastly, we help them and we train them on how to build a strong LinkedIn profile. We don't do anything, or we don't discuss with them for other social media, but we mostly focus on LinkedIn profile, as this is the tool for the professional online presence. So as I said, this is basically our baseline preparation, and we run trainings on these three different topics, which are somehow connected to each other. This is what we view as the cornerstone of a successful entrance to the job market. On the other hand, we stress the importance to our students and young graduates, the importance of the soft skills. Okay, it's good to have career skills so that they know how to stand and how to enter the job market, but also soft skills, we tell them that they should start developing them, and through the employment experience, volunteering, anything they have at hand from year one.
Yeah, so you mentioned a lot of areas. You mentioned the CV compilation and also creating or developing a profile for them. Also preparing them for the interviews. So the three trainings or the area of trainings, are they linked to these topics?
Yes, absolutely. So we have three different trainings that each one has this topic. So CV, interview, and LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, so can you develop a little bit on the skills or what is it that the job seekers or the newly graduates need to learn as far as the CV compilation or even the interview? Can you give us some examples of interview questions that they need to prepare for?
Sure. As you said, they should ask questions. They should prepare for the questions so that it will be asked during the interview. And I will give you a few examples that we share with our students. So these are, for example, why are you applying to this job and why are you interested in this position? Or in other words, why do you want this job? And basically, the recruiter wants to see from these type of questions the motivation, how the candidate thinks that she fits into this role, so on, so on. Then other examples we have is which do you think are the responsibilities or the challenges of this position? Following to, they ask the hiring managers or the line managers ask lots of times to give an example of a personal achievement, an example of a conflict management and how you came out of it. What is your greatest weakness or strength? To give an example of a failure or mistake the candidate had, and what salary do you expect? But this is a trap to my eyes.
Yes, indeed. So, okay, so what are the, let's say, the challenges that that job seekers face at this stage in learning these skills? Usually,
right.
yes, are they, can they easily learn these skills?
It depends on the. It depends. I'm saying that because the later during your studies, candidate student starts the career preparation in the studies, then the more harder it is. So, for example, we are having now junior graduates who just graduated, and they're coming to us to start their career planning. But I'm afraid now it's too late, because all these skills to be learned and developed, we need some time to work with the students and the candidates. Now, if someone has no experience, has done nothing related to career preparation and career planning during the studies, when they come to us as junior graduates, it's not very difficult, but the whole process and preparation needs some time. I'm not sure whether you're referring exclusively to the career skills that we mentioned, like the subset that I mentioned earlier, like CV, interview, and LinkedIn, or if you're referring to the wider set of the skills that we.
Both.
Both.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. So the career skills like CV and interview and LinkedIn profile, which is a subset, I mean, this can be easily learned, and especially they can be mastered with practice. The more you work on these things and the more you practice interview, and we do mock interviews with our students, the better you get. And then you learn by experience, you build upon that, and so on. On the soft skills, again, it depends on the characteristic of each person and what kind of type of personality this person has. And then it also depends on what you have done outside your studies or at school or as hobbies, everything that has helped you to develop further the human skills you have inherent as a personality, and what others, for example, you have developed through experience. If the junior graduate, for example, let's focus on this example because it relates with many of junior job seekers. If that specific graduate has had zero experience, either through internships or volunteering or extracurricular activities like club societies, anything, then it's difficult for that person to start building upon those and understanding and being aware of why are these skills so important in the workplace.
Good. So you're highlighting the importance of being active socially as one key driver to building the soft skills needed also for their first interview and their job applications. Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the job seekers or the newly graduates. Do they usually know what kind of roles they're applying or what jobs they should be applying for?
That's a great question. This can vary. We have lots of people that don't know where they can fit, even though, for example, depending on their field of study. And we have many that are more aware and have increased awareness on what they can do and how they can contribute to the job market. And again, this can vary depending on the candidate depending on the candidate and the exposure that this candidate or student or whoever is the candidate that had with the job market. And then we go back to our previous discussion. So there are many in many cases, even though they might know in which industry fields they can be active and they can be successful professionals via the technical skills they have developed through their studies. In some other cases, they don't really know how to identify the transferable soft skills they might have through all the past experiences. So we also help our students in that area to identify what they have and to work with them to find opportunities where they could develop them further. So we do this kind of orientation in case someone is unsure of what kind of roles to apply.
Okay. let me also ask you, where do you usually direct them? Do you direct them to job searches or job portals, platforms that we've seen arise recently, or LinkedIn, or where usually your graduates go to look for jobs?
Right. So we have the two first places we tell them to search is first our internal portal with job openings, which is internal to the University of Nicosia, and all the students and graduates have access. And second, on our LinkedIn page. So through our network of partners and companies we cooperate with, we share in our internal portal as well as on our LinkedIn page. We share with our students and graduates a vast and wide range of employment opportunities of all types, both remote work as well as physically located jobs. We also advise them to be active on LinkedIn, not only follow our page, because there we post distinct openings than the ones we share with them in our portal. But we also stress the importance of building a network and finding jobs on LinkedIn as well, because we really believe if LinkedIn is used correctly, then this is a very powerful tool, not only to apply, but also to be discovered by recruiters if the profile is compiled in a way that it should be and reveal the skills and experience that the candidate has to offer.
Absolutely. Okay, now I would like to move a little bit on the company's side. And here, of course, a lot of things changed for the last 2 years due to the pandemic as well. So what kind of skills the companies are looking for at this time?
All right. Well, at this time, indeed, everything related to soft and human skills is gaining and actually is accelerating in gaining more importance. But overall, I would say it depends again on the culture and the mindset of the company. However, as we said before, the soft skills are gaining importance, and they sometimes, or in most of the times, this is a decisive factor when hiring a candidate. So technical skills do play a role, especially for jobs that have very specific requirements, and the candidate needs to have some very specific technical skills to perform the job. But aside of that, soft skills are, luckily, to my opinion, very, very important.
Can you name the top soft skills that you're referring to?
Sure. So emotional intelligence, communication skills, adaptability, flexibility. I think I can put them on the front of everything, even though all soft skills are important. But definitely emotional intelligence and communication skills is something that a person has to have to thrive in the workplace and be able to network and build the relationships and with the internal and external stakeholders to the company that this person is going to be employed.
Okay, so the companies, how are there any tools to assess this kind of skills, or how they are assessing actually these soft skills that you've just mentioned?
So usually this is done through personal interviews, especially if the hiring manager or the line manager is trained in these aspects, then they can identify and assess the soft skills much better than other people who are not so well trained. Some other companies also use psychometric assessment tests that that include or might include personality type, strengths, emotional intelligence factors, and so on. On our side, we also have a psychometric tool called Ariston, which is ideal for personnel assessment, and we do offer it to companies that they don't have something similar and that they would like to identify and assess the job matching and job potential of their candidates.
Okay. All right. So what kind of skills can, let's say, the job seekers or during the interview? How can they demonstrate the skills to the companies or to the interviewer, let's say?
So this can be done via examples, via task-based results in both the CV as well as the interview, and also through behavior-based answers. So like give like a short story or a scenario, or or as we said, an example to demonstrate the skills that the person has. But again, the more experience, employment experience, or anything related to that, as we said at the beginning, then the better, the more skills that that candidate has to offer to the market, the job market.
Yes, you mentioned that you have role plays about interviews, and then based on every experience, you go back and you assess, or you look at improving from one experience to another interview. Let's say the skills of the job seekers. Do you also have, or the job seekers, are they receiving feedback from the companies, constructive feedback, so that they can, they would know where actually they need to improve for the next interview that they're going to have?
That's a fantastic question. Thank you for raising this up. Unfortunately, in most of the cases, the companies send no feedback to the candidate. To my opinion, this is a broken step in the process that needs to be fixed, because as you said, if candidates do not receive feedback on what the company did not evaluate as they were expecting, then how can this candidate develop and improve in certain areas? Yeah.
Okay, so to conclude, what is the advice that you would give to the young graduates today?
There are plenty, but I will focus on a couple. So aside everything we've said, so I would advise them to get out of their comfort zone, to grab opportunities as they come. Don't wait and sit back and wait for the perfect opportunity to land on them, but instead they should network, they should have positive attitude, they should challenge themselves, and so they can identify opportunities as they come. Also, interview preparation is key for entering the company, because the CV opens the door to the company, but the interview can land that job. So interview preparation, investigate the company, prepare questions so that the candidate can ask aside of the question we discussed from the company side. And then to sum up, I would like also to say that if someone is looking for a job, then full speed on the job search, because it's really almost a full-time job. So full speed on that until that person gets hired. So polish everything related to career skills that we discussed earlier, and tailor the CV every time that this candidate is applying to a different job opening, because then there you can play with your skills and tailor make really the CV to the job application. Then develop the skills further, as we discussed. If someone identifies that she lacks some skills, then develop them, find opportunities, as we said earlier, internships, volunteering, online experience, remote work, everything, and then do something. So don't sit and wait, but find opportunities and do things. And again, soft skills, I want to close with that are so important, not also because of everything we have discussed, but also because if someone wishes to stay future-proof, and especially her ability to work with jobs that can be lost and created due to automation, robotics, artificial intelligence, then definitely human skills play a very important role in the future of work.
Right, thank you. And you also touched bases on a topic that we will also be discussing even further, the human relationship with artificial intelligence and workplace. Thank you very much, Maria, for joining me on this interesting conversation. I'm sure Careers Express and also Cyprus Mail readers will find interesting. So let us know your concerns and send us your questions, and we will get answers for you, for professionals and also from experts in the field. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Elisabeth. It was a great pleasure discussing with you today.